your boy R.A.R.E, aka Big Uncle, aka DNR. Another moment of contemplation, another moment of thought. There was a question posed. I was on one of our sites, or one of the sites I belong to. A very impressive site for expediting transportation life, wings, wheels, and rudders. And there was a question posed. Should brokers that have no assets, i.e. no equipment, no trucks, no vans and such, be allowed to bid on loads if they have no assets in the area from which or to which that load is going to? And if I have it correctly, whether or not they are taking money from the pockets of drivers by repeatedly selling said load. In other words, every time someone touches it, they take money off the top, and by the time it gets to us, there's less money there for us to run said load. Well, I'm kind of torn on this one, and I'm not disagreeing. I'm because it's a fact. Every time someone touches it, there's less money at the end for the service provider, and the service provider are the drivers. We get that load to where it needs to be. Now, from what I understand and the way it was explained to me, brokers get these loads and they make promises to the person that wants to send said load that they're going to get that load there safely and in a timely manner. If something happens to that load, that broker, the initial broker, is solely liable for that load. If it doesn't get there on time, they lose money. If it's not picked up on time, they lose money. If you break down and it has to be recovered, they lose money. They're liable for all of that. So it doesn't matter who they sell it to, that initial broker is still responsible. Now, yeah, it's a long deal the way it was explained to me, and I've been doing some research here over the last couple of days after I had a long conversation about this. After someone brought this information to me, and they were absolutely correct. They are responsible. Now, sometimes the carriers and sharing those responsibilities, and there's all kind of little deals made, but I'm not going to get into all that. I think that'll be a good video after I finish my research to get into how all that works. But my opinion is this. We as drivers and owner-operators, we are the service provider. It doesn't matter what promises the brokers make to the client or to their client, and it doesn't matter what promises the carriers make to the brokers. Because if you and I, as drivers, don't deliver that freight on time, don't pick that freight up on time, don't deliver it in a safe and timely manner, they lose money. Yes. Because we are already contracted to deliver the load at a certain rate. Our rate is guaranteed for the most part. Unless your contract with your carrier says something different. Our rates are guaranteed, so we're going to get paid. But all the rest of the people up the chain can possibly lose money from what we do. So what that means is this. We are in control whether they make money or not. They exist surely because we exist. So the big question to me is, why do we allow, as the drivers, as the service provider, where the rubber meets the road, the person that's actually gonna go and fulfill those promises that the other people make, why do we allow those other people to set the rates? Because they have made us believe and convinced us that they are in control of the game, that they feed us. My friends, I contend, and this is just my humble opinion, I haven't been in the industry for a long time, as long as some of you guys out there, all right? But I contend that in this business, that is the greatest lie told. Because it wasn't always that way. It wasn't always that way. We provide the service. We set our price. We got to stop letting those folks set our price. They need stuff moved. They can't move it. They need us to move it. So we're providing a service to them. And we're going to tell them what it's going to cost for us to do that. They're not going to tell us what they're going to pay us to do that. We're going to tell them what it's going to cost them to do that. That's like when your van or your truck breaks down, and you're on the road and you bring it to one of these mechanic shops. You know, the ones that robbed you because you're on the road and you need that thing fixed fast. You know what I'm talking about. And you're going to walk in there and tell them what you're going to pay them to fix your rig. Not what their prices are, but what you are willing to pay them, and they have to accept it. Now, we know that's not how it works. We know that's not how it works. So, why when these carriers or agents or shippers, corporations, need something moved, and we're the ones that got to move it, how can we allow them to come in our shop and tell us what they're going to pay us for our services? Now, I'm not the brightest man on the planet. I don't contend to have the answers. This is just my opinion. I think that is ridiculous that we allow other people to set our rates. I think it's ridiculous that we have the outlook and our perspective is that the carrier feeds us, that the brokers feed the carriers, that the clients feed the brokers. They don't feed us. We feed the brokers. The brokers make money off of the brokers make money off the carriers. The carriers make money off of us. We feed them. They don't feed us. Because there's a lot of carriers and a lot of organizations, and we know, because the question is, the brokers have no equipment. If they can't find anybody to take that load, they can't go outside and get in their own truck and go out and handle this. And that's true for carriers, for a lot of carriers too. They don't have a huge fleet of vehicles that's available outside. Go get that. A lot of those fleets are owned by individuals. Us. We are the fleet owners. We are the owner operators. You know, a lot of these people just pushing paper. They don't have to repair transmissions or engines. They just have to put more paper in the printer or replace the printer ink. All right? We're out there putting our lives on the line in the snow and in the elements and out here on these roads with these crazy people. That is us every day. This is our business. We don't work for them. We don't work for carriers or brokers. I work for me. KC Rodney LLC is my business. That's my company. I set my rates as per my bottom line. And so do you, brothers and sisters, in driving. You set your rates. We got to stop letting these people tell us what they're going to pay us. Or it's slow and the rates, we're going to have to take less money. Why? Maybe you have to move less freight because you can't afford to move it, because you can't afford to pay us. That's it. So if you can't get your freight from point A to point B, you can't make money. But you're going to pay my price when I move it. Okay? That's just the way it is. You're not going to tell me what you're going to pay me. This is what it costs. And if you can't pay the cost to be in business, shipper, then you go out of business. And if you can't afford to pay the cost, broker, to move that freight or to fulfill those promises you made to the shipper, then you go out of business. And if you cannot afford to pay the cost to the driver, carrier, then you will not be able to fulfill your promise to the broker and you will go out of business. But they get to the end of this chain and they say, driver, if you're not willing to take the rate that we're going to pay, then you're going to go out of business. No, we're not. Because we're not going to take that rate. We're going to tell you what our rate is. We won't go out of business. Because we can skip over, because we can eliminate carriers, we can eliminate brokers, and the shipper at the end of the day still has to move this stuff from point A to point B. And they need us to do it. So the shipper, the carrier provides a very valuable service to us in a lot of logistical ways. The broker does a very good service for us, also in a lot of logistical ways. And they go out and market and they find these people and they connect us together, okay? But at the end of the day, we move the stuff from point A to point B. And the people that need to move it, they will find us if they need to move it without a broker and without carriers. They use those services because that makes it easier for them to get their stuff shipped or to find us to ship it. We use brokers and carriers because it's easier for us to connect with the people that want to ship stuff. That's just the way it is. That is just the way it is. So we take the risk, we set the rates. The broker can set whatever rate they want to the shipper. The carrier can set whatever rate they want to the broker. And we gonna set whatever rate we want to the carrier. That's the way it is. Well, that's the way it should be. But no, like Alan Paxton says, y'all need to stop carrying that cheap freight, man. Y'all need to stop carrying that cheap freight. Get what is fair for you to operate your business and to stay in business. Not just to pay your bills, but you should be making money. You should be making a profit. I don't operate my business not to make a profit. I don't operate my business to break even. I don't. I want to make a profit. So I'm going to set my rate. I'm going to set my rate as per my business. Now, this is the trick. And this is where things get messed up. We are our own worst enemy as drivers. Because we won't set the rates. Because there's those of us that are willing to carry that cheap freight. And that's what puts those other people in control of how much money we make. That's what puts those other entities in control of our bottom line and what we're going to make and what we're not going to make. That's what does it. So the trick is for us to come together as drivers, as owner-operators, as fleet owners, and set a fair rate to move this stuff. A spectrum from X amount of dollars to X amount of dollars. That's what it's going to cost. But that's the trick. That is the impossible, but very possible task. I can't control what you do, man. I can't control how you run your business, how you operate. I don't know what your bottom line or your break-even point is. I know what mine is. And I refuse to take any load that's below that point. And this is just me again. I'm not trying to start any static. I'm giving my opinion. That's all I'm giving. This is my opinion. Don't take nothing I say as fact or gospel. This is just my opinion. I have a bottom line for my business, and I refuse to take a penny less than what that break even or make money bottom line is. I take the position that I will deadhead 1,100 miles, 1,200 miles, 1,600 miles, however long it is, out of my own pocket, back to my home base before I take a penny less than what it is, than the number it takes for me to make money. And that's just on principle alone. Because I think when someone pays me less than that, they're stealing money from me. And anybody that knows me knows I don't like when people take things from me. And I know y'all gonna say, well, nobody likes when nobody takes nothing from them. No. You don't understand. Not only do I not like it, I'm not gonna let you take nothing from me. If I'm standing there and watching you take money out of my pockets, then I'm a fool. And what's the old saying? Mama didn't raise no fool. And Gene Rodney damn sure didn't raise no fool. I'm not going to let you take nothing from me. I will stand on the street and give everything I own away before I let you take one penny from me. That's my conviction. That's why this is just my opinion. As drivers, brothers and sisters, as owner-operators, I really wish we can come together and have a summit and discuss these things in an open forum to get everybody's ideas and to hopefully come to some resolution in setting some guidelines that we are willing to work within together collectively that would benefit all of our personal businesses, to make the playing field fair. Again, just my opinion. This is R.A.R.E, a.k.a. Big Uncle, a.k.a. D&R. Y'all stay safe out there.